Welcome to Eternal Virtues.
Hey guys, Eternal here, and I'm here with another Ruby theory. Is everything that's happened thus far in all the volumes Ozpin's fault? And honestly, it is. It is Ozpin's fault because he knew of Salem, he knew of magic, he knew of everything we know thus far. And for whatever reason, he didn't want Team Ruby to find out when Ruby asked the genie, "What is Ozpin hiding from us?" And he completely freaked out and just lost it. And now they know what he knows, and it's crazy. It's crazy because it makes you wonder what would everything have been like if Ozpin disclosed this information to the world and to all the headmasters of all the different academies, and how everything would have shaped up thus far, and if Cinder's attack on Beacon would have affected or altered any of that in any way. Would have changed it. And honestly, it goes into question. It becomes a what if scenario. But Ozpin, being secret and don't want to share anything of the sort, he kept this all to himself. Maybe disclosed this information to a few people, a few close associates. I feel like Glinda probably knows a little bit, kind of, probably more so than Crow did, because, in the volume, Crow, when everyone found out about it, Crow acted like Team Ruby, like he didn't know any of this information, which is shocking because he quote unquote worked for Ozpin all this time. You would think that Ozpin would share some of this information, with him, but apparently not. Maybe that's an inconsistency with Rooster Teeth, maybe. Who knows? Who honestly knows about this? But I feel like it's Ozpin's fault that he did not, that everything's happened, especially in Volume 3 with Pyrrha. It's like, I felt like he rushed it in terms of just, okay, Pyrrha is a prime candidate, amongst the students, yeah, for taking the Fall Maiden's power, but he pushed it, and I felt like she wasn't ready, and it resulted in what happened with Pyrrha sacrificing herself, and him pushing her, and him giving her a no-win situation, basically, and then having her force and choose to fight Cinder when she absolutely did not have to. She could have went with John and met up, in the airship with all the rest of the teams, but chose not to. So I felt like that was primarily his fault because he basically put her in a corner. And, Jean didn't really help either, which was crazy also because, Jean didn't understand what was going on, but he saw that she was distressed and she was, obviously bothered by something. And him being Jean, he wanted to comfort her and be there for her, but he, in theory, said the wrong things to influence her to choose, to take the Fall Maiden's power instead of really, thinking about this and, taking time. Because it's like she was going to lose everything if she chose it. She's going to lose her friends, her freedom, most likely. She was going to be under Ozpin's watch 24/7. All this crazy things that would have happened, but we never got to see that. But it was just... It was just a no-win situation, and Ozpin, being the headmaster that he is, he shouldn't be putting his students into that type of situation when he knows that she's most likely not ready for that position. Physically, her combat skills are excellent, but it was more rather show than tell. But from what we saw, yeah, her combative skills are excellent in that regard, but her that type of position and that type of responsibility, she wasn't mentally and overall ready for. And he should have seen that as the headmaster. So should have Glinda, Crow, and Ironwood. They should have known that from the beginning. But they went through it anyway because they were pressed for time, as Ozpin said. But even then, it's like, this is a student's life that you're gambling with, and in the end, it went terribly because Cinder got the Fall Maiden powers and Pyrrha lost her life. So what does that show on Ozpin's behalf, on him as a headmaster? That he's not considerate of the students under his watch, and he would force anything if it follows his agenda, regardless of moral consequence. So that was terrible on his part. And I'm disappointed in Glenda and all the other teachers that they didn't see that and speak up about that as well. Because, this is one of your top students, and yet you want to put them in a no-win situation. It's not really smart of a headmaster who's quote-unquote the head of everything. I feel like Ozpin could have prevented so much stuff, and they didn't show us the fight between Cinder and Ozpin, but we can summarize that she killed him apparently. I don't know how, because he should have known, but he quote unquote died, and now we have Oscar. Now we don't know if Ozpin will at some point take over Oscar's body, or maybe towards the end of the volumes he'll say, you know what, my job is done. Everybody knows about everything that I know. Oscar, you can go on and lead the new generation in my stead, or something like that. We don't know. We don't know thus far, but I feel like Jean and Yang are going to possibly leave Ozpin. Because it's crazy, because they're going up against Salem, which is a no-win situation. Now that they know pretty much what Ozpin knows, it's like, what is the point of even fighting Salem at this point? What really is the point? Because you can't win. You can't win. It's a no-win situation, similar to Pyrrha. It's like, what would you... It's like, do they even have a hope of winning against Salem? Like honestly, do they really have a breath of defeating Salem in any possible way? Because Salem has all the resources that they need to be in for her to take over. And they're heading over to not Haven, to Atlas. And, that's going to be a major battle in the next volume, whenever it comes out, volume 7. And we don't know how that's going to play out. We don't know who's going to get involved. Who's with who, we don't know. And that's up to speculation at this point. But it's just that, and it's hinted in the Ruby mangas that they're going to be heading over to Shade Academy as well. So we don't know what to expect with Atlas, except that we have high expectations, and that it has to be, up to par to what they built up since Volume 1. But we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if Team Ruby's going to run into the Schnee Company, run into Jacques and Whitley. I mean, they're most likely going to run into Winter, because she's going to be associated with Ironwood. That, that's a given. But we don't know what's going to happen once they get there. They're most likely probably going to get arrested because they, quote-unquote, stolen an airship from Atlas. So that's going to be problematic unless they explain it. And then probably Oscar or Ozpin will intervene and take over Oscar and talk to Ironwood probably and explain everything. But even then, we don't know if Ironwood's going to really care. We don't know if he's going to care all that much. Because he's like, I got my own stuff to deal with. I have my own problems. I have the city on lockdown. I got to keep track of what we have and keep other people from getting our, relic. You failed. Ironwood would probably say, Ozpin, you failed. I don't have to listen to you because you obviously don't know what you're doing. And the fact that you died and you reincarnated into, this child shows, shows that fact. That you failed. Your ideas, your mission has failed. All of this. Ironwood's probably not going to want to hear all that. And then probably when they're arguing, Salem is probably going to start making her moves with Watts and Tyrion and whoever she has under her leadership and under her branch. They're going to be slowly making moves. And we don't even know what's going to happen with Cinder or Neo. We don't know what their plan is. We don't know if Cinder is still loyal to Salem at all. Maybe she's gone rogue at this point. We don't know. We have no earthly idea of what Cinder wants to do. But all we know is that Neo is going to help her and is going to help her go through with this. And, this is all of this was Ozpin's fault. It was his fault because of his poor I wouldn't say assessment, but he just completely rushed everything and disregarded everything for the sake of his mission that it's an impossible mission, because how can you defeat Salem when she controls all of the Grimm and she has all of this power and influence? You can't. You can't win. It's an impossible battle, similar to Pyrrha versus Cinder. How is Team Ruby gonna win? In a logical and reasonable way, they can't, with what we've been shown. They'll say, oh, well, we can collect all the relics, but in the end, what is that going to do when Salem has the power of magic? And probably magic that she hasn't even begun to show us in the series as a whole. And, it's just crazy, because it's like, honestly, they have no chance of winning at all. No chance of winning at all, and yet Ozpin is putting all his hopes and dreams into Team Ruby and saying, I know that you guys know that this is an impossible battle, but yeah, let's go in and try to win anyway. Basically sending them all to their deaths. And that's not right for a teacher, a headmaster of Beacon, to send his students when he clearly understands and knows that sending them to their deaths against Salem is a no-go. It's crazy, because it's like, you're supposed to know this stuff, yet you want them to fight Salem knowing that they have no chance of winning at all. But I understand the theme of it. It's like Team Ruby's like the hope and dreams and such and such. But realistically, they have no chance of winning. No chance against Salem, unless something significant happens to where either Salem, loses her power, she's been losing it over the years, or whatnot. We don't know. We honestly do not know. Something significant has to happen to make the audience, we believe that Team Ruby has a chance at beating Salem, realistically at this point. But that's my theory about Ozpin. I feel like he's at fault because, and this can go since Volume 1 also, because, he brought in Ruby when she wasn't probably ready, but he saw her silver eyes, and he's like, oh, I can use that for my plans, like a chess piece. All his students are chess pieces that he uses. Regardless of moral compass, he uses them for his plan. Since Volume 1 all the way up till now, he's been shady. More so in Volume 3 and such, but he's been a shady headmaster for sure. Glenda cares more about her students than Ozpin does, and she's his right hand in a sense. Glenda shows more care than Ozpin does, because she knows that they're gonna experience hell and shenaniganery at this point. She knows it. That's why she's so strict, because she wants them to be the most prepared that they're gonna be when Ozpin strikes and says, "Okay, I pick you. You gotta go and do this suicidal, impossible mission for me." And that's probably what happened to Ruby's mother, even though she saw her, quote unquote. That's probably what happened, and I hope they expand more on that too. But I wouldn't trust Ozpin. I really wouldn't. And Jean, I'm sure he's not going to trust Ozpin, because Ozpin still hasn't yet to explain the whole Pyrrha thing to Jean. And then Yang, she doesn't trust Ozpin either, because what Raven has said to her has so far lined up as truth, one after another. That everything her mother said is true about Ozpin. So I hope that plays a factor as well, and probably will have Jean and Yang leave, and then, the group will be splitted. Most likely, but I don't know if they're going to follow up with that. It would be the most logical. It would work out, but we don't know. But anyways, guys, that's your Ruby theory. Keep an eye out for more videos, since I have more free time now. I'm going to be trying to post a lot more videos now today, so look out for that. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, guys, stay virtuous.